I'm here with Ted Schilowitz. He is, what are you, Barco? You're futurist? What's your position?
I'm actually the futurist for 20th Century Fox.
Yes.
And I'm the cinema evangelist for Barco, which
That's
are
right.
two completely made up titles for made up jobs. So that's what I do for a living, which is just a bunch of fun.
Yes, and cinema evangelist in terms of, I just saw some of the new Escape demonstrations. Now, I actually quite like the use of it in, you're doing the Lady Gaga thing. Mm-hmm. I thought it really brought you into the environment there. It's you can tell it's maturing, and the learning of the art form is getting better.
Very much so, yeah.
Right. So let's just quickly go on onto those stats. You now have a number of studios who have taken on board the format.
We do.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's been an interesting evolution from one year to the next year, right? So last year we launched this at CinemaCon. Of course, you were there at the South Point, the Cinemark, and we had our first public demonstrations of what we've been working on. And you know, we thought we had it down. Like, we thought this is awesome. But now, a year later,
yes,
it's like what I've sort of discussed with people is, imagine, you know, you're in a restaurant and there's a really good chef and he's cooking some great stuff, and you keep trying things and you know he's not quite done yet. It's totally delicious already, but when they actually get done, it's going to be amazing.
That's
like
right.
The best meal you've ever had. And that's kind of where we are within a year of progress, is from the initial demonstrations of look how fantastic this is to now where we've evolved, and the science teams at Barco are really working and thinking about how do we make this better, and working on the angles, on the formulations
That's
of the
right.
screens, on the gaps between the screens, and we just keep improving and iterating on it. And then of course working directly with the content creators that are getting more and more excited about it, and they keep working and iterating on it. And now when you see the new stuff that we have showing this year, it's a whole wave better than last year.
Yeah, you
and
can see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're very excited about it.
But can you, wasn't the studios in particular, can
Yes.
you name them off?
Yes. So there's a whole bunch of things that have happened over the
Yeah.
past couple of weeks that we've of course been working on in secret. We announced a couple of days ago that Jerry Bruckheimer is on board now.
Yep.
He's on our advisory board.
Yep.
He's announced that he's working on at least a couple of projects in the format.
Yes, good.
One sort of reimagined thing from his cinema past, which is of course quite extensive, and something new, which we're very, very excited to work with him very closely. He's extremely innovative and forward-thinking, and just loves what this is all about, which is expanding the vision of cinema. He's a big movie guy,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
right.
he wants movies to be bigger and
That's
to
right.
keep getting people compelled to come to the movies.
Well, that's very much the story of this year, especially at NAB as well. I wrote a story for Celluloid Junkie about how we're moving in, you know, to the transition stage is now in the past, and now into the looking to the future stage.
Correct.
And Barco Escape is prominently one of those looking into the future
Very
stage
much so.
technologies. It's relatively mature now.
Starting to be. I
And-
would say more like an impotent teenager right now.
Probably, but the big problem I find, because I followed the NAB side of it a lot this year, is that all these new technologies are. It's taking time for the creative community to take them on board as an art. It's like a new tool in your box, but you've never used the tool before and you don't know what it does.
Correct.
And so it takes time and education.
Yeah.
And you can see how there's some education between last year and this year
Very much
on
so.
the screen today,
Right.
and you can just know that that's probably going to mature, and these new productions are most likely going to utilise that understanding and art form and that's coming along from these new producers.
Yeah, it's very much a learning process. That's what I do every single day, is
That's
work
right.
with the movie studios, the creators, to start thinking creatively, and they need to feel from us how open we are, that we're not trying to dictate their creativity at all. We're just trying to give them a huge
That's
amount
right.
of canvas to work with.
That's exactly right.
And how they want to work with it is completely up to them.
That's
It's
right,
not us
yeah.
to dictate, does this work? Well, the audience will tell you if it works, and then we know, right? So that sort of stance from a technology company is probably somewhat unusual, but it's also very powerful. When an exhibitor and the creators and the people within the movie industry get that we're not trying to dictate the road, we're just trying to make the road for them,
Yes.
and then they'll figure out how they want to drive
That's
on it,
exactly right, yes.
is a really valuable, what we've seen is very, very valuable. So
Yes.
in addition to what's happened with Jerry Bruckheimer, which we're very excited about, 20th Century Fox, who's of course been a big pioneer in this, and of course I live in that world as well, in addition to what we did last year with the launch of this format with the first real movie, which was Maze Runner,
Yes.
which was a rousing success
Yes, it
all
was
around.
good, yes.
And we did 7 theaters as our first test. now Fox is committed to a 5-year multi-picture deal for Barco Escape.
Wow.
And they're figuring out how many movies, what kind of movies. And again, it's an active creative discussion. Nobody knows where we're going, but they are absolutely committed to making movies in this format and delivering movies in this format, which is what the exhibitors need to hear, right? The exhibitors need to know that there's going to be a pipeline for content.
That's right, and commitment. And there's commitment not from just Barco, but from the studios.
Correct.
And that's where the full circle of the story
Absolutely.
comes.
Yeah.
And that's where, like this year, Barco was the Escape was interesting, but now Escape is real. And so if you are looking into moving into some new, more exciting experiences for your customers, this is definitely on the top tier of ones you should look at. You've got your motion seats and everything, but I prefer this over the motion seats because maybe it's my older demographic, but you know, horses for courses, but definitely this is the one to look at.
Well, and for me, I see it as working in tandem. Like, this works obviously without motion seats. It's glorious and it's all around you. But if you wanted to add motion seats to this
you can do that too,
and build more of the real theme park experience in a multiplex, there's no reason we can't do that. Again, it's all part of the exploration, right? It's much more fun to say, yes, maybe let's try that, than no, that won't work, right?
Yeah,
We're all about and, not or, right?
That's right,
I wonder if it works in addition to this. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
So, as you could tell by my sort of childlike attitude toward everything, it's like, I want to try everything and see what really works. What does an audience say, that was the most fantastic experience I'd ever had in a movie? That's what our goal is.
Excellent. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Ted.
Of course, my pleasure.
For showing us the advancements in the Escape technology. And Barco's doing an amazing year. They're pretty much the announcements of the show with their laser and the Escape developments, and obviously the 4S systems more maturing, etc. I'll cover them in other videos, but thank you very much, Ted.
Of course. Thanks, James.
And this is James Garden, the Cinetech Geek at CinemaCon 2015. Bye for now.